Mark Levin, it's good to see you again. Thank you very much for the interview.
Libby, it's always a pleasure and an honor. God bless you.
Mark, let's start with the most critical question. What do you think about the ICC decision to issue arrest warrants to Prime Minister Netanyahu and Yoav Gallant?
The ICC has become an operation of the Marxists, Islamists, the Jew haters. Certainly isn't what it was supposed to be. We have nothing but contempt for it among conservatives and most of the American people. You see, our view is we are a sovereign country and we don't need some international court filled with foreigners telling us what to think and what to do. So we have refused to become part of it, just like the state of Israel, for good reason. But the idea that the Israeli people, that their representatives in the government are committing acts of genocide and war crimes against the Palestinians in Gaza is sickening. It's a blood libel. The fact of the matter is Hamas is killing its own people. The fact of the matter, Iran is using Palestinians as fodder. And Israel and the Israelis are just trying to live their lives and not be bothered by all these people who apparently want to eviscerate and destroy them. It could just as easily be our president who they indict and send criminal warrants out on. So my view of the ICC is it's corrupt. It's part of the UN. The UN is corrupt. And people who believe in liberty and people who believe in justice get it.
And how do you think the U.S. should act?
My view is that we ought to pass a law that says, okay, now we have jurisdiction over the ICC. And we have jurisdiction over all the jurisdictions that the ICC claims. If they can do it unilaterally, why can't we? And also, in every respect, when it comes to the UN and their funding and so forth, we define their sources of funding and do whatever we can to cut it off. 25% of the United Nations budget comes from the United States. And the American people are sick and tired of the UN. Most Americans want the UN to get the hell out of our country. We don't like all these barbarians coming into New York and having a meeting and attacking Israel most of the time, and the other times attacking us.
Mark, as you know, Trump imposed sanctions on ICC in 2020. The Biden administration removed these sanctions in 2021. Do you think there's any connection between the removal of these sanctions and the warrant that Prime Minister Netanyahu and Gallant are getting?
Yeah, 100%. Biden and Blinken could have put an end to this. They could have said, no, we're gonna reinstitute the Trump sanctions against the ICC.
And how do you think the signatory country to the treaty should act?
How should they react? They should speak out against what's taking place. But when you look in Britain, you know, the wrong government's in charge. When you look in France, the wrong government's in charge. When you look throughout Europe, you have these weak left of center governments that are running these societies and running scared of these changed demographics in their own country. So I don't think you're going to see any change from them.
How should Prime Minister Netanyahu act regarding the ICC decision?
I think he's doing everything he can do. I think the things he has said have been extremely important. I think he's actually helped unite the United States and Israel in this cause. Maybe some people in Israel too close to. He's a profoundly important leader. The chihuahuas that keep biting at his heels in your legal system, the Marxist leftists in your country are no different than the ones in our country. They'd rather win the day and take power than protect their country. It's grotesque, but we see it in our country. I see it in Israel as well.
So after the Trump's victory and the appointments in his cabinet, which are very pro-Israel, how do you think the relations between the U.S. and Israel will look like in the next 4 years?
I think they're going to be exceptional. I think Bibi Netanyahu and Donald Trump, these are historic figures. And you might recall that I call him the president. President Trump said when Israel was responding to Iran this last time, he said, take out their nuke sites and take out their oil sites. And the fact that we know that if they get nuclear weapons, they don't seek just to be a regional power, they seek to be an international power.
Mark, thank you so much for this interview. Take care.
Well, Libby, same to you and your wonderful channel that does such important work for the state of Israel. I always enjoy it very, very much. God bless you. God bless the people of Israel and the people of the United States.
Want to see more Mark Levin? Go to levintv.com and subscribe now.